And the final chapter of a violent summer in Rochester ends with the sentencing of a drug kingpin.
This was a gang war going back and forth.
Brandon Washington, the leader of the Blue Drug Gang, got 21 years in prison today. Now, in 2022, Washington was the man who hired Boston Crips to come here and wipe out a rival gang. The hired guns killed 3 people, including Rochester police officer Anthony Mazurkowitz. Chief investigative reporter Berkeley Breen is live at federal court in Rochester. Burke, Officer Mazurkowitz's widow was there. How is she doing?
You know, Nikki, she told me, these are her words, oddly mixed emotions, because this sentencing that happened in that federal building behind me is the final case of all the cases tied to her husband's murder.
I'm very relieved because it's done, but I feel like I still don't have the answers I would like to have had, but you don't get those answers ever. So,
what answers are you looking for?
I just would like to know why. Why?
Why did Brandon Washington make the phone call to hire those hitmen in Boston? That's the question. Well, the fact is that back in the summer of 2022, the gang war in Rochester was hot, including drive-by shootings, assaults, and arsons. Officer Tony Mazurkowitz was investigating the murder of 2 men when he was shot and killed by Kelvin Vickers, one of the Boston guys that Washington hired. At one point in Washington's case, he apologized face-to-face to Lynn Mazurkowitz.
He dead stopped in front of me and turned and said, "I'm sorry." And I was shocked, and I said, "What?" And he said it again. And it truly, it meant something to me, because whether he meant it or not, I don't know. I believe that he did, because I just have to believe that for myself. But he's the only one that made the effort to say anything to me.
Do you accept that apology?
I was pleased that Ms. Mazurkowitz accepted the apology from Mr. Washington, and I'm glad that he did so. However, today when he spoke, he also indicated that while he was a marijuana trafficker, he had essentially nothing to do with the violence. The facts of this case prove completely otherwise. So I don't buy for a minute that he didn't believe in violence. I don't buy for a minute that he didn't possess firearms. And I don't buy for a minute that he was not at least somewhat behind the violence that occurred in this case.
So consider this. It took federal judge Frank Geraci 10 minutes to read off all of the guns and ammunition seized when Washington's drug operation was caught. 10 full minutes. Nikki?
Wow. Burke, Lynn Mazurkowitz, she said something interesting. She said she heals but doesn't move on.
Nikki, she says they talk about Tony Mazurkowitz all the time, especially to his 4 grandchildren. And they still hang his stocking up for Christmas. It's hanging from the mantle tonight.
Maz on the mantle. We'll never forget. Thank you, Burke.